Porter left behind a message so powerful it could shatter even Usher's heart. Picture a story dripping with raw emotion, a tale that still haunts us years after she's gone. Today, we're peeling back the layers of a woman who stole the spotlight, a mother, a model, and a soul who left an indelible mark on so many. But beyond that, we're chasing a heartbreaking thread tied to one of R&B's brightest stars. Hold tight, because this journey will tug at every corner of your soul with revelations you won't see coming. Let's rewind to where it all began, where Kim Porter's brilliance first lit up the world. Born in Columbus, Georgia in 1970, Kim was a small-town girl with dreams far bigger than her surroundings. She had a glow, a kind of beauty paired with charisma that turned heads without effort. By the late 80s, she'd set her sights on Atlanta, hungry for a modeling career, and it didn't take long for the industry to take notice. She strutted down runways, graced the covers of magazines like Essence and Jet, and became a symbol of elegance in an era hungry for fresh faces. But Kim wasn't just a pretty face. She had a warmth that pulled people close, a laugh that could brighten the darkest day. Her life took a seismic turn when she crossed paths with Diddy, a rising music mogul who would shape her public story. They became the ultimate 90s power couple, blending music, fashion, and fame into something untouchable. Together, they welcomed 3 children, Christian and twins Jessie and Delilah, while Kim also brought her son Quincy from a previous relationship into their fold. She wasn't just Diddy's partner. She was a rock, a force holding their world together through the chaos of stardom. Yet, beneath the glitz of red carpets and camera flashes, a quiet storm was gathering, one that would challenge her in ways no one could predict. Now, let's dive into the connections that wove through Kim's life, far beyond the tabloid headlines. In the tight-knit universe of music and entertainment, paths often collide in the most unexpected ways. Kim wasn't just linked to Diddy, she danced through circles that included the biggest names in R&B and hip-hop during the 90s and early 2000s. One of those names was Usher, a young talent exploding onto the scene with hits like You Make Me Wanna that defined a generation. While there's no documented romance between Kim and Usher, their worlds overlapped in Atlanta's vibrant music hub, a city pulsing with creativity and ambition. They likely crossed paths at industry events, award shows, and late-night after-parties where stars mingled freely. Some fans whisper about a quiet camaraderie, a mutual respect born from navigating the same treacherous waters of fame. Usher with his effortless charm and soulful voice, and Kim with her grounded spirit and magnetic presence could have easily shared a bond over the grind of their lives. There are murmurs, unconfirmed of course, of moments behind closed doors. Perhaps a shared laugh or a deep conversation at a BET Awards after-party or a studio session sidelines. It's in these unseen spaces that emotions often take root, where unspoken words can carry the heaviest weight. And yet, something intangible lingered, a thread of connection that time couldn't sever, even as their paths diverged through the years. What could have been said in those fleeting encounters? That's the mystery pulling us deeper into this story. Block 2, Sections 3 and 4, on 725 words. Let's fast forward to a moment that broke hearts worldwide. November 15, 2018. Kim Porter's life ended far too soon at just 47 years old, a loss that reverberated through the entertainment world like a thunderclap. Found unresponsive in her Los Angeles home, the news stunned fans and loved ones alike. Official reports pointed to lobar pneumonia, a devastating illness that stole her silently and swiftly. Her passing wasn't just a personal tragedy for her 4 children and family, it was a blow to everyone who'd ever been touched by her grace, whether through a magazine spread or a story of her strength. Tributes flooded in from all corners, painting a vivid portrait of a woman who transcended her public image. She was a devoted mother who prioritized her kids above all, a loyal friend who lifted others up, and a soul who faced unseen battles with quiet courage. Diddy himself poured out his grief, calling her his everything, a love that could never be replaced. At her funeral in Columbus, Georgia, hundreds gathered, stars, family, and fans, tears mingling with memories of her radiant smile. The service was a celebration of her life, with music and stories that captured her essence, yet the weight of her absence hung heavy. Her children spoke of her as their guiding light, a protector whose love still wrapped around them. But amid the mourning, whispers of untold sentiments began to surface, hints of things she might have yearned to express before the end came so abruptly. That brings us to the core of today's emotional dive. Rumors of a final message, a lingering thought tied to Usher. Let's be upfront. There's no verified letter, recording, or direct statement from Kim to him documented in public records. But in the aftermath of her passing, fans and online communities have pieced together fragments of her life, searching for deeper meaning in her relationships. Some speculate that Kim held a special fondness for those who'd shared her journey through the highs and lows of fame, Usher among them. Could she have wanted to share a word of gratitude for a moment they shared, a memory from a long-ago event, or even a piece of wisdom about surviving the spotlight? Perhaps, in her final days, battling illness, she reflected on friendships that meant more than the world knew. Unverified stories float around forums and social media. Maybe a trusted friend heard her express hopes for those she cared about, or maybe it's just the collective longing of fans wanting closure. These aren't concrete facts, but they weave a narrative of love and loss that strikes a chord. Imagine if Kim had one last chance to speak to someone who understood the grind, the pressure, the joy, and the pain of their shared world. What might she have said to Usher, a fellow artist who'd seen the same stages and faced the same scrutiny? The idea of such a message, whether real or imagined, carries an emotional punch, a symbol of connections that outlast time. And how did this possibility ripple through those who knew her? Was there a moment of quiet reflection, a pang of what might have been that hit Usher harder than anyone could guess? That's the question driving us forward, a mystery begging to be unraveled. Block 3, Sections 5 and 6, I'm to 725 words. Let's shift our gaze to Usher, a man who's weathered the storms of stardom with a career spanning decades. Around the time of Kim's passing in 2018, he was navigating his own rough seas, finalizing a divorce from Grace Miguel, redefining his music with new projects, and grappling with the relentless pressure to stay on top. Publicly, Usher didn't release a grand statement or tribute specifically naming Kim after her death. But sometimes the loudest emotions hide in silence. In interviews and performances following that tragic November, fans noticed a subtle shift in his demeanor, a heaviness in his eyes during quiet moments, a reflective tone in songs like Peace Sign from his 2018 album A. Some speculate that grief, even if unspoken, seeped into his art, a way to process loss without bearing it all. Could he have been carrying the weight of an unshared goodbye, a connection severed before it could deepen? Usher's life mirrors Kim's in striking ways. Both knew the sting of public scrutiny, the challenge of balancing fame with personal life, and the loneliness that can creep in despite the crowds. There are whispers among fans that he might have attended private memorials or sent condolences through mutual friends, though nothing's confirmed. It's not hard to picture a quiet ache, a regret for conversations that never happened, especially if a fleeting bond from their Atlanta days lingered in his memory. Yet, one burning question remains unanswered, a puzzle that keeps us wondering what echoes of Kim might still resonate in his heart. That puzzle ties into the profound weight of Kim's legacy, a narrative that continues to unfold even into 2025. Kim Porter wasn't just a name splashed across gossip columns. She was a force who shaped lives with her love and resilience. Her children, Quincy, Christian, Jessie, and Delilah, carry her spirit forward, often sharing glimpses of her influence on social media. Diddy has spoken publicly about how they honor her memory, from celebrating her birthday each year to keeping her values alive in their home. Fans, too, keep her light burning, posting throwback photos and heartfelt messages on anniversaries of her passing, ensuring she's never forgotten. The idea of a final message, whether it exists or is simply a symbol, speaks to a universal need for closure, especially with someone like Usher, who shared her orbit of music and fame. It's less about literal words and more about the essence of Kim's heart, her desire to protect, uplift, and connect with those around her, even in her last moments. Recent years have amplified her story, with ongoing discussions about her life often tied to broader narratives in the entertainment world, though we'll keep those specifics at bay for now. Her impact endures as a reminder of a woman who loved with every fiber of her being and left us far too soon. In 2025, her children continue to grow into their own, with Quincy carving a path in acting and music, and the twins stepping into the spotlight with modeling gigs, all while echoing their mother's grace. So, what does this all mean for those she left behind? How do we hold on to the echoes of someone so irreplaceable? That's the thread pulling us toward a deeper reflection, a chance to see Kim's life through a lens of lasting love and unspoken bonds. Block 4, Section 7, plus, conclusion, is 725 words. As we ponder what could have been, the notion of Kim Porter's connection to Usher takes on a richer, more poignant hue. Imagine the weight of a missed opportunity, a conversation that never unfolded but might have changed everything. Some fans believe Kim's spirit lives on in the way her loved ones push forward, perhaps even inspiring Usher in subtle, unseen ways. A surprising layer to her legacy lies in how it continues to unite people, through charity initiatives in her name, like efforts to support single mothers, and through stories her children share in interviews, revealing her as a fierce protector and nurturer. Her life wasn't just a tale of glamour or tragedy, it was a testament to resilience, to showing up for family no matter the personal cost. If there was a message, whether whispered in reality or felt in spirit, it might have been beautifully simple. Keep pushing, keep loving, even when the world feels like it's crumbling. That's the kind of soul Kim embodied, a woman who faced life's storms with a quiet strength that still inspires. Her children often speak of her as their anchor, with Christian once sharing how her advice on staying grounded guides him daily. Quincy, her eldest, has reflected on her sacrifices, noting how she balanced motherhood with her own dreams, a balance that taught him perseverance. Even in 2025, fan pages and online tributes revisit her iconic moments, her radiant smile at the 2005 Oscars, her effortless style in 90s photo shoots, keeping her memory as vivid as ever. And now, it's time to delve deeper, to ask ourselves what her journey reveals about the fleeting nature of time and the enduring power of connection. So, let's close this chapter with a heavy heart, but a flicker of hope. Kim Porter's life was a whirlwind of beauty, grit, and hidden struggles, a path that touched countless souls, from her family to stars like Usher. Her tragic departure in 2018 carved a void that can't be filled, yet the idea of a final message, whether real or a heartfelt symbol, reminds us of the strength in human bonds. It's a story of love that stretches beyond time, of sentiments that might have been shared in spirit, if not in voice. Her legacy isn't just in the headlines she made or the photos that captured her elegance. It's in the way her children smile, the way her friends still speak her name with reverence, and the way fans hold on to her memory as if she's still here. What do you think Kim might have wanted to convey? Not just to Usher, but to everyone who felt her warmth. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep this dialogue alive, honoring a woman whose light refuses to dim. If this story stirred something in you, tap that like button and dive into more tales of the lives behind the music. Kim's children continue her fight, with the twins recently walking in a fashion show reminiscent of their mother's early days, a poignant nod to her influence. Her essence still shines. And maybe, just maybe, it's a gentle nudge to hold our loved ones a little tighter today. How do we cherish someone who left too soon? That's a question worth carrying forward. A reflection on love, loss, and the quiet messages that linger in our hearts long after the final goodbye. Let's remember Kim not just for the tragedy of her end, but for the vibrancy of her life. A woman who loved fiercely, lived boldly, and left a mark that time can't erase. What's one memory or lesson from her story that resonates with you? Share it below, and let's keep her spirit burning bright. Did Kim's story touch your heart? Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit that like button to keep her memory alive.